What if the single thing destroying your potential isn't your circumstances? It's your own voice. Not the world around you, not the people who doubted you. The voice inside your head. Today, we reveal how 7 days of deliberate self-talk can reprogram your mind, reframe your entire reality, and silently revolutionize your life. Your thoughts are not merely ideas. They are the architecture of your existence. The words you speak to yourself daily, even in silent whispers, sculpt your confidence, your choices, and your outcomes. Negative self-talk, crushing doubts, and deeply embedded limiting beliefs are quietly strangling people's growth, happiness, and potential. This 7-day self-talk challenge is a deceptively simple yet extraordinary practice designed to overhaul your internal dialogue, fortify your mindset, and cultivate thinking that actually serves your ambitions. By consciously speaking to yourself like a champion for just a few intentional minutes daily, you can fundamentally reshape your habits, your decisions, and ultimately your entire destiny. The first step toward transforming your life through self-talk is awareness. You cannot dismantle what you refuse to acknowledge. And most people drift through their days completely blind to the relentless chatter flooding their minds. This internal dialogue sculpts your choices, your emotional state, and ultimately every result you produce in life. Destructive self-talk sounds like "I can't handle this" or "I'm simply not enough." And over time, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that silently suffocates your true potential. Awareness begins with honest observation. Carve out a few moments daily to simply witness your thoughts without judgment. Study the tone, the content, and the frequency of what you say internally. Are your thoughts uplifting, neutral, or relentlessly critical? Do they ignite action or manufacture doubt? This conscious attention becomes the bedrock of genuine change. Journaling is a practical strategy for cultivating awareness. Record your recurring thoughts, especially those that generate fear, hesitation, or frustration. Seeing them documented helps you recognize mental patterns that would otherwise remain invisible. You begin recognizing how often your mind gravitates toward limitations rather than possibilities. Another technique is pausing periodically throughout your day and consciously noting what you're telling yourself. Ask honestly, is this thought propelling me forward or anchoring me in place? This builds a discipline of conscious observation over passive mental surrender. Awareness is genuinely transformative because it restores your power of choice. Once you identify the destructive patterns clearly, you can decide to interrupt them, replace them or transform them without awareness. You remain completely subject to automatic thinking, allowing fears and doubts to silently govern every action you take. Day 1 of the 7-day self-talk challenge is dedicated entirely to noticing. Notice your habitual phrases, the quality of your internal voice, and the influence these thoughts carry over your mood, your energy, and your choices. This seemingly simple yet profoundly impactful step establishes the groundwork for consciously reconstructing your mind, creating a launchpad for confidence, genuine positivity, and lasting growth. Once you develop awareness of your internal narrative, the next critical step involves replacing destructive thoughts with empowering affirmations. Awareness alone cannot catalyze real change. Action is non-negotiable. Damaging self-talk statements like "I can't do this" or "I'm not enough" silently corrode your confidence and compress your potential. Affirmations, when practiced intentionally, rewire your neural pathways, creating an automatic tendency toward positivity, sharp focus, and unshakable self-belief. Powerful affirmations are straightforward, present, tense declarations that reinforce your genuine capabilities and unlimited potential. For instance, instead of saying, "I am perpetually failing," you can affirm, "I am fully capable of learning and expanding every single day." Rather than "I'll never succeed," declare, "I am advancing steadily and deliberately toward everything I desire." The real power lies not in the phrasing itself, but in the disciplined daily practice of genuinely speaking them to yourself. Daily balloon played. Daddy, 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 daddy. Start by crafting a concise list of affirmations that genuinely connect with your deepest goals and core values. Keep them accessible through sticky notes on your phone or even spoken confidently during quiet, reflective moments. Each time a destructive thought surfaces, consciously replace it with a powerful affirmation. This interrupts your old mental circuitry and progressively strengthens your internal voice with authentic encouragement, renewed hope, and deep-rooted confidence. Repetition combined with genuine intention is the real mechanism. Even if it initially feels unnatural and forced, disciplined, consistent practice literally rewires your brain to instinctively seek solutions rather than fixate on problems. Gradually, your mind begins naturally gravitating toward empowering thoughts, dramatically reducing stress, eliminating self-doubt, and dissolving chronic hesitation. By replacing destructive patterns with affirmations, you reclaim complete command of your mental landscape. You transition from a scarcity mindset to one overflowing with possibility, resilience, and expansive growth. This represents the second pillar of the 7-day self-talk challenge. Actively speaking to yourself with a champion's conviction, building the bedrock of confidence, mental clarity, and genuinely life-altering personal transformation. The third step in this 7-day self-talk challenge involves learning to address yourself through encouragement and genuine compassion. Most individuals are dramatically crueler to themselves than they would ever dream of being to someone they care about. We criticize relentlessly, doubt persistently, and judge ourselves without mercy, believing harsh self-criticism will somehow manufacture motivation. In reality, this internal brutality cultivates fear, chronic stress, and complete paralysis. Genuinely successful individuals understand that the quality of your inner voice fundamentally shapes your confidence, your choices, and your total mental landscape. Compassionate self-talk begins with the genuine recognition that you are a human being, learning, evolving, and growing. Rather than declaring "I failed again," "I'm completely worthless," you pivot to "I made a mistake, but growth and improvement are absolutely within my reach." This subtle but powerful shift in language nurtures deep resilience and dissolves unnecessary emotional burden. Your mind transforms from a relentless battlefield into a reliable source of genuine wisdom. Your encouragement operates in perfect partnership with compassion. Celebrate meaningful small victories, honor genuine progress, and consistently remind yourself of your real abilities and authentic strengths. Statements like "I am fully equipped to navigate this challenge" or "I am genuinely growing stronger" every day reinforce absolute belief in your expanding potential. Gradually, these words forge mental fortitude and a profound inner security that requires no external validation whatsoever. Practice this discipline with real intention every morning and evening. Practice this habit intentionally each morning and evening. Address yourself aloud or silently as you would treat a deeply valued companion walking beside you. Observe how your entire perspective begins shifting. Challenges appear less overwhelming. Confidence expands organically, and decisions emerge from clarity rather than chronic fear and hesitation. When you consistently address yourself with encouragement and compassion, Your inner dialogue evolves from a wellspring of anxiety into an inexhaustible source of genuine strength. You develop the capacity to move through life with patience, focused determination, and authentic self-belief. This practice isn't merely about emotional comfort. It is about cultivating a truly resilient mindset that champions growth, fuels real achievement, and builds a life where every action flows from personal empowerment rather than suffocating fear. The fourth step in the 7-day self-talk challenge involves pairing powerful self-talk with deliberate visualization. Encouraging words alone carry real weight, but combining them with a vivid mental picture of your desired success creates an extraordinary engine for lasting transformation. Visualization converts abstract intentions into concrete mental imagery your brain can authentically engage with, making your most ambitious goals feel genuinely attainable and absolutely real. As you speak to yourself with a champion's conviction, simultaneously envision the specific outcome you're pursuing. Picture yourself completing an important project, confidently presenting in a critical meeting, achieving a deeply personal goal, or navigating a difficult situation with composure and unwavering focus. Engage every available sense deliberately. Hear the sounds, feel the powerful emotions. Notice every detail of the surrounding environment. The richer and more vivid your mental imagery, the more powerful the neural connection your mind builds between your affirming words and your actual behavior. Visualization powerfully reinforces genuine belief. When you repeatedly picture yourself succeeding balloons on the street, when you repeatedly imagine yourself succeeding while simultaneously affirming it verbally, your brain begins accepting that outcome as genuinely probable. Doubts and paralyzing fears progressively lose their stranglehold because your internal narrative now fully aligns with capability and unlimited possibility. This generates authentic confidence that naturally translates into decisive real-world action. Begin with only a few dedicated minutes on the street. Start with just a few minutes each day. Speak your affirmations aloud with conviction. Then gently close your eyes and vividly picture yourself embodying those powerful words. Notice your body softening, your breathing steadying, and a profound sense of direction filling every corner of your awareness. Over consistent practice, this discipline sharpens your concentration, crystallizes your mental clarity, and generates a natural momentum that organically propels you toward your most meaningful goals. Combining visualization with intentional self-talk isn't some mystical shortcut to overnight success. It is a daily discipline that genuinely rewires your neural architecture. It converts your inner dialogue into a genuinely constructive driving force, making difficult challenges feel navigable and your greatest ambitions feel absolutely achievable. By vividly seeing success while simultaneously speaking with real positivity, you condition your mind to act in complete alignment with your deepest vision, producing both authentic internal confidence and measurable real-world results. The fifth step in the 7-day self-talk challenge is strategically deploying daily reminders to consistently reinforce your empowering internal dialogue. Even with heightened awareness, your mind will naturally drift back toward familiar negative patterns. Life accelerates constantly, distractions multiply relentlessly, and without deliberate environmental cues, destructive self-talk can silently veers act as anchors, continuously realigning your mind with positivity, genuine confidence, and unwavering purpose. Reminders can take countless practical forms. Reminders can take many forms. Motivating sticky notes on your mirror, strategic phone alarms, consistent journal entries, or even inspiring wallpapers across your devices can prompt you to engage your positive internal dialogue throughout the entire day. Every time you encounter or hear these cues, that say becomes a gentle but powerful invitation to pause, examine your current thoughts, and actively reaffirm your genuine capabilities and meaningful goals. Consistent repetition is absolutely essential. Not the brain develops mastery through steady exposure, and small repeated cues continuously strengthen critical neural connections. When constructive self-talk becomes your instinctive first response to any obstacle, your mindset transforms organically. Your mindset shifts naturally. Not an inner voice evolves into a trusted navigator, rather than a source of constant doubt or crippling fear. Another remarkably powerful reminder strategy is habit stacking. Deliberately connect your self-talk practice to established routines you already perform consistently, like brushing your teeth, enjoying your morning coffee, or commuting. When these automatic actions consistently trigger positive affirmations, self-talk becomes completely effortless and organically woven into the very fabric of your daily existence. Deploying strategic reminders also cultivates personal accountability. They compel you to pause, check in authentically with yourself, not in deliberately select thoughts that genuinely uplift rather than invisibly suppress you. Over dedicated time, you witness a remarkable internal shift. Chronic stress diminishes significantly. Authentic confidence rises steadily, and overwhelming challenges feel genuinely manageable. Your mind transforms into a loyal ally rather than a relentless internal critic, consistently reinforcing growth, sharp focus, and deep mental resilience every single day. Daily reminders are never merely helpful prompts. They are powerful catalysts for genuine transformation. By consistently redirecting your mind toward authentic positivity, you cultivate a deeply supportive internal environment that naturally fuels real success, mental clarity, and lasting psychological strength. The sixth step in the 7-day self-talk challenge involves deliberately pausing to examine your progress and consciously refine your internal narrative. Awareness, affirmations, visualization, and reminders are all powerful individually, but without regular reflection, growth inevitably plateaus. Reflection empowers you to honestly assess how your self-talk is genuinely shaping your mindset, your emotional responses, not your concrete actions, while helping you calibrate it for maximum transformative impact. Begin by reserving a dedicated few minutes on the street. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day or evening to honestly examine your thoughts. Ask yourself honestly, which self-talk patterns genuinely energized me today? Where did negativity quietly regain its foothold? What specific circumstances triggered doubt or forfeit? This process transforms passive routine into active conscious learning, enabling you to identify recurring mental patterns, celebrate real strengths, and pinpoint areas still requiring dedicated attention. Journaling serves as an incredibly powerful vehicle for this deep reflection. Document the thoughts that dominated your consciousness today, your authentic emotional reactions, and the tangible impact of your positive affirmations. Seeing your honest journey captured on paper provides genuine clarity, illuminates real progress, and surfaces stubborn limiting beliefs that still demand your attention and focused work. Reflection also powerfully encourages mental adaptability. As you evolve authentically, your aspirations, obstacles, and internal landscape will naturally transform. Self-talk approaches that served you initially may require meaningful adjustments to remain perfectly aligned with your expanding growth and evolving ambitions. Through consistent reflection, you guarantee your internal dialogue perpetually remains relevant, powerfully empowering, and genuinely constructive. This discipline also systematically deepens personal accountability. When you honestly review your thoughts and openly acknowledge both meaningful victories and uncomfortable missteps, you actively reinforce genuine ownership of your mental habits. You learn to greet setbacks with productive curiosity and a growth orientation rather than defaulting to blame or unnecessary self-condemnation. Over dedicated, consistent practice, this reflective habit transforms your self-talk from a mechanical routine into a living, breathing, dynamically evolving instrument for deep personal transformation. Your mind progressively becomes more resilient, genuinely adaptable, and powerfully focused. By consistently reflecting and consciously adjusting, you ensure your internal narrative perpetually champions your authentic journey toward growing confidence, crystal clarity, and enduring meaningful success. The seventh and final step in the 7-day self-talk challenge is elevating this entire practice into a permanent lifelong commitment. The deepest transformation never emerges from 7 days in isolation. It emerges from weaving positive self-talk into the actual fabric of every single day you live. When you consistently address yourself with real encouragement, sharp clarity, and genuine purpose, your mindset transforms permanently, reshaping your actions, your critical decisions, and every meaningful result you achieve. A permanent lifelong habit demands real unwavering consistency. Even well beyond those initial 7 days, maintain your daily affirmations. Visualizer action and reflection. Commit to this practice as seriously as eating, sleeping, or working, because the quality of your mental environment fundamentally determines how powerfully and deliberately you live your clear-throat life. These small daily repetitions compound dramatically over time, progressively dismantling old limiting beliefs and replacing them with a deeply confident, genuinely empowered internal voice. Equally essential is sustained daily mindfulness. Maintain conscious vigilance over your internal voice continuously throughout each day, not exclusively during scheduled self-talk sessions. Intercept destructive thoughts early and gently, but firmly redirect them toward genuinely constructive statements. This keeps your mind consistently anchored to growth, rather than spiraling into distraction or unnecessary fear. Your permanent self-talk practice must also evolve fluidly as you grow. Your aspirations, challenges, and life circumstances will continuously shift and transform, and your affirmations and visualizations must evolve in perfect synchrony. Regularly revisit your mental dialogue, ensuring it authentically reflects your current vision and deepest values. Finally, intentional self-talk becomes your ultimate resilience strategy. Life will perpetually deliver obstacles, stinging criticism, and painful setbacks. Not a powerfully conditioned internal dialogue empowers you to respond with composure, precise clarity, and unshakable confidence. You learn to genuinely motivate yourself, guide yourself, not and remain deeply anchored, even when everything around you feels completely uncertain and chaotic. By making deliberate positive self-talk your permanent lifelong discipline, you engineer a mental environment that empowers you every single day without exception. You cultivate a mind that champions your growth, nurtures your authentic confidence, and consistently propels you with unstoppable force toward every meaningful success. This habit isn't merely a daily practice. It is the living foundation of an existence consciously shaped by pure intention, unwavering focus, and the extraordinary quiet power of the words only you speak to yourself. Your thoughts are the architects of your life. Every single word you speak internally, every phrase you silently repeat within your mind steadily sculpts your self-confidence, your critical decisions, and every tangible result you ultimately manifest. This 7-day self-talk challenge represents only your beginning, a powerful gateway into the permanently life-altering practice of speaking to yourself with a champion's conviction by developing genuine awareness of your internal dialogue. Deliberately replacing destructive patterns with empowering affirmations, communicating with deep encouragement and authentic compassion, vividly visualizing success, strategically deploying reminders